Good morning, students. Welcome to online classes. Dear students, in today's class, we are going to discuss unit number 5th, that is working capital. Before going to discuss unit number 5th, in the previous class, we had studied the different types of problems on cost of capital. Basically, cost of capital is divided into two types. One is specific source, and another one is WACC, means weighted average cost of capital. So based on weighted average cost of capital and also specific source of capital such as cost of debt, cost of equity, cost of reference. So based on that, we already studied different types of problems, and whatever I had given homework, please keep it practicing, and it will be the clear the concept of a cost of a capital. Let us start in today class working capital. See, working capital is a lifeblood of every business, as a circulation of blood is essential in the human body for maintaining of life. In the same way, working capital is essential to all the organization to maintain the smooth running of the business. It's to be clear, it means working capital is a liability of every organizations. In the same way, for human body, blood is very important. If there is no blood in the human body, human will be die. In the same way, if there is no working capital or if there is no capital for the industry or business, so industry will be sick industry. So based on that concept, working capital is a lifeblood of every organizations. So what do you mean by working capital? See, working capital is a part or total capital. It means working capital is a part or it may be total capital. It means whatever you have contributed capital for the organizations, in that contribution, the part of the capital is to be what working capital, because working capital is to be what we are going to using for the day-to-day activities. So that is what working capital. Some of the industry, the entire capital they may be used for what in working capital, and some of the industry that might be they are using part is working capital, part is what a fixed capital. But is to be clear, working capital is a part or it may be total capital. It is used to for carry out the regular business operation. As I told you, working capital means working capital is refers to the is a part of capital. It is used for what day to day operation of the business. In other words, it is the amount of fund used for financing day to day operation is nothing but similar. So whatever the amount is to be used for what day to day activities. Next, the concept of working capital. So the concept of working capital, basically it is divided into two types. One is net working and the one is what gross working. So what do you mean by net working? So this is a supported by distinguished authorities like Linkers, Boris. Okay. Mm, According to that, working capital is excess of current assets over the current liabilities. Directly, I will focus it. See, basically, the working capital is a two concept. One is net working, and the one is gross working. As per the net working, it is excess of current assets over the current liabilities. And let us we are going to explain in detail. Working capital is equal to current assets minus current liabilities is nothing but net working. And the net working have a two components again. Those are current assets and current liabilities. Current assets means what? So current assets are the assets which we can easily convert it into cash. Those are what? Current assets. For example, cash in hand, cash at bank, bills receivable, debtors, okay, prepaid expenses, any outstanding incomes. So these all are called as current assets. So then what do you mean by current liabilities? See, current liabilities very simple. Which we can paid within a 1 year, which liabilities we can paid within a 1 year. So those are called as a current liabilities. For example, creditors, bills payable, okay, and outstanding expenses, short-term borrowings, tax and dividends payable, bank overdraft, any outstanding liabilities for the current year payable. So these are all called as a current liabilities. We will move to the next. And again, according to the gross working capital, see, this concept is supported by the authorities like mean banker, okay. So according to team, the working capital is represent only current assets. It means basically the working capital have a two concept. One is net working, uh, sorry, the first one is what, net working concept, and the one is gross capital. See, as per the networking concept is what, it is nothing but current, sorry, working capital is excess of current assets over the current liabilities. It means current assets minus current liabilities. Current assets minus current liabilities. So that is what a net working. As per the gross working means it is represent only what a current assets. Okay, so the gross working capital concept is financing or going concern concept. From the above two concept, as per the general practices, net working capital is preferred to simplify the working capital. It means I think it is clear. Gross capital is represent only current assets. Net working capital is represent only current assets minus current liabilities. We'll discuss. Let us see the about definition. According to Green-Steinberg defines, circulation of capital means current assets of a company that are changed in the ordinary course of business from one form to another form. This is known about what a working capital. It means it is circulation of fund. It is a circulation of amount from one firm to another firm. This is known about what a working capital. Example: cash to inventories, inventory to receivable, receivable into the cash. So this is a form of what a working capital. Okay, so let us move to the next. What is the purpose? What is the objective of working capital? The working capital is to be used for what a purchase of raw material and to pay for wages and salary. Okay, to provide credit facilities to the customers. Okay, to maintain inventories of raw material in work in progress and finished stock. So these are the main objective to maintaining the working capital in the business. That is next very important classification of a working capital. So basically the working capital is divided into five categories: gross working, net working, negative work, permanent and variable. So let us discuss one by one. Gross working capital, see, it is a financial concept. See, whatever the gross working capital is a financial concept. It refers to the total investment in current assets. As I told you in the previous class, gross working capital is focused only what investment in current assets. Okay, is it clear? Is refers to only current assets. Next, second, for example, cash in hand, cash at bank, account receivable, stock of finished goods, work in progress, stock of material, prepaid expenses. These all are what current assets. It means gross working capital is nothing but a investment in only current assets. Second one, net working capital. See, net working capital, it is refers to the excess of current assets over the current liabilities. Nothing but that is, according to that, working capital is equal to current assets minus current liabilities. So this is only what current assets. Third one, a negative working capital. See, when current liabilities are more than the current assets, it is called as a negative liabilities. Very clear. So when in net working is what current assets is more than what current liabilities. In third case, negative working capital, when current liabilities more than current assets. So this is what a negative working capital. Is it clear? Once again, I will write it here clearly. And according to third case, current liabilities is more than current assets. We will move to the next, permanent working capital. What do you mean by permanent? It is fixed or regular or hard copy of capital. It is the amount of working capital which remains in the business permanently. It is called as a fixed working capital. For example, cash or bank balance, stock in trade. Okay, maintained a minimum carry of business operation at all the time. So this is what a permanent working capital. Whatever we are going to maintain in cash or balance or in the bank or in the permanent purpose, that is what a permanent working capital. It is nothing but a fixed. We will move to the variable working capital. It's very simple. It is a temporary or fluctuating capital or additional current assets. It is refers to the amount of working capital which goes on changing from time to time with a change in the volume of business activities. So this is called as a working capital. In simple scenario, fixed and variable working capital difference. This is what sorry. Variable working capital means what is going to temporary or fluctuating or additional capital. So this capital is going to changing from time to time based on the volume of activities involved by the business. So this is types of or classification of working capital. In the next class, we are going to discuss again a difference between fixed and uh, variable working capitals. After that, we are going to discuss again very important the format to calculation of a working capital. As I told you, the chapter is very interesting and very important from the examination point of view. 1 2 marks question is compulsory from this topic, 2 into 1 And again 15 marks question also, one is compulsory from this topic. Even expected again case study also, as I told from the from first unit also, the expected case study is what of second unit, third unit, and is next is what a fifth unit. So from these three units expected is to be what a case studies. And one more very important is what to work out the problems under working capital, the little bit it is required what a application mind. So let us will discuss in the next class a different uh, difference between fixed and working capital, and also what are the methods, what is the format to calculation of a working capital. Thank you, we will meet in next class.